This is the Type 63. It is one of the most popular Tier 8s after the Christmas lock boxes have been released, and honestly, I can't blame people. This tank has two incredibly unique mechanics that allow it to be absolutely dominant in the battlefield. First of all, it features hydro-pneumatic suspension, allowing it to achieve 12 degrees of gun depression when working a ridgeline. That is absolutely devastating, especially against people that don't really know how to fight this thing hull down. The second part about this vehicle that is devastating is the gun. The longer you go without shooting your opponents, the more accurate you get, to like 0.29 dispersion. It essentially means that this vehicle can almost be as accurate as a Leopard 1 if you just wait a little bit. And judging that World of Tanks battles last up to 15 minutes, if you don't have pressured time to shoot as fast as possible, and you're shooting people at distance, this can be a devastating sniper. In today's video, I'll be fully reviewing this tank, we'll be having some gameplay, and I'll be showcasing all the strengths and weaknesses it has going for it. We are going to start off by making our way over to the statistics of this vehicle. This is my current equipment and everything loaded out, so I am running a food. We have improved hardening, rammer, and rotation, just so we can get not only better traverse speed, but as well better on movement dispersion. In terms of my crew, I do have brothers trained. We also have smooth ride and a snapshot. So yeah, all pretty basic stuff for our equipment and crew. I don't like to use bounty or bond just because the average player can't get it, and it kind of defeats the purpose of an average review for this vehicle. So damage per minute wise, 2,122. It's nothing crazy, but it's enough to get the job done. And again, this is a hull down tank, so as long as you're able to fight your opponents on a ridgeline, the DPM isn't going to be too important. It's more the fact that it's got really good pen. First of all, it has 320 damage per shot, which isn't anything incredible. You know, we're upwards of 500 for some heavies now in Tier 8, but still, it's enough alpha to get the job done, and again, it's a hull down tank, so as long as you're penning your shots, it's fine. 230 mils of standard pen, pretty solid, and the premium 290 millimeters of heat. That's actually really good, and it means even if you're going up against tier 10s, as long as you aim properly, there's actually a pretty good chance you'll be able to cut through their weak spots. So overall, very solid penetration for this tier 8. The reload is 9 seconds, pretty solid, nothing crazy, but you will out reload any 120 millimeters for the most part. Dispersion is also pretty dang good. Look at that, 0.25. It's 0.27 base, but because we're running it equipped, yeah, 0.25. That is insane. That is obviously when you are on reload and you have waited for about 4 seconds after your base reload, so more like about 13, 14 seconds after you've shot. Your gun's dispersion is going to get real small. But still, that is ridiculous dispersion, and it's going to allow the vehicle to hit some absolutely incredible snaps. Before the cooldown, we can see it as 0.34. So it's basically a 30% reduction in accuracy when you are shooting on reload compared to waiting. But still, that's pretty insane. The base dispersion's okay. Do remember that it's not that much alpha damage, so I wouldn't expect it to be a bad dispersion value. On-move values are decent. I mean, my vehicle has obviously 10% better on-movement dispersion, because that is one of the most underrated values in the game. So we are sitting at 0.15, 0.16. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's good, especially for the alpha of this gun, but that's why I've tried to make it as good as possible. Normally it's base 0.18. Our top speed is 40, our reverse is 15. That's why I'm a little confused on people running turbo. I feel like turbo is more important for super slow tanks and not necessarily a vehicle like this. So I'm not going to be running turbo. Instead, I've got improved hardening, giving us an additional 140 HP, more track HP from the normal 220 to 363. These are all going to help us out. We also have really good traverse speed due to our improved rotation, so we have 40 degrees of traverse. Overall, I think this is a pretty well-rounded vehicle in terms of the statistics. The gun doesn't hit very hard, but as I said, you got a lot of pen, and we have a decent chunk of HP, so we should be able to get the job done. In terms of armor, that's where this vehicle gets really interesting. The hull is terrible. It's about 170 on the upper plate base and 120 on the lower plate. So anybody shooting at your hull is going to pen every single day of the week. But look at this turret. It's 295 base. That is insane. It means even loading heat shells, you're going to have no chance. 310 millimeters thick. You're going to have to go to tier 10s before you have a chance of cutting through the turret. And yeah, obviously tier 10s to 340 pen are going to cut through. But if you're using gun depression, this is still 360, meaning that you will still be able to get bounces from even tier 10s when you are using gun depression. There's a couple weak spots. Let's go back to a tier 8. Doesn't really matter which one. There's a couple weak spots. First of all, you have the gun mantlet. This is not really much of a weak spot. You also have this little itty-bitty spot of the hatch, but good luck hitting that. If the vehicle simply just moves its gun down a little bit, you can't hit it at all, and you're never going to pen the vehicle. Honestly, there's really no weak spot on the vehicle hull down. I mean, I can say there is, but yeah, good luck. Literally, the only spot you're going to be able to hit is this, and yeah, I mean, good luck with that. The armor is a little busted on this vehicle, I'm going to be honest. It's balanced out because it has no hull. Something I also find very interesting is that there's literally just a gap in the armor that you can shoot right through. Don't think that these edges are weak, though. They are actually very, very strong, as we can see. They're like 200 plus mils thick, so yeah, you're not going to be cutting through that anytime soon. So really, just hide the upper plate, hide the lower plate, and you should be fine. So town-based maps, it's going to be a tricky tank to drive, but any hull-down type map, this vehicle is going to dominate. Side armor, 50 mils. Pretty dang awful. Do keep that in mind. And that doesn't appear to be spaced either, so that's just really, really bad. Yeah, look at that. You're going to pen the entire side. The rear also dookie, back of the turret. So it's really only frontal-based armor and only on the turret. But we'll see how it plays. I'm excited. I haven't tried the tank yet, so let's get into the queue and find out what it can do. Here we are on Glacier. This is a great map to showcase the hull-down capabilities of the Type 63. So let's get into the front line and see what we can do. Now, something that you'll notice about this vehicle is the terrible gun elevation. Look at that. That is our max elevation right there. So if anybody tried running up that hill, I have almost no opportunity to shooting them. Now, because I've played light tanks quite a bit, I know that people love to yellow up that hill, but apparently nobody has decided to risk it. Honestly, I can't blame them. It's a really, really risky situation to make it up that hill or not. So we are going to silently make our way up here and get hull down. Alright, so we got the M41 Bulldog right in front of us, and we are going to see if we can get a shot into the Bulldog. We're going to slow down. Easiest shot in the world. Okay. I have nothing to say. I've literally nothing to say. 0.25 dispersion. We are 10 feet away from the Bulldog. And the shell just goes, no! I can't believe that missed. I was so mad that I decided I don't even care if I get bled a bit. I'm going to pen this Bulldog. And we do for 350. But right now that Bulldog should be dead. Quite disappointing, not gonna lie. Alright, so we got the 122 TM off to the side. We got the Brask in front. Let's aim it on the Brask. There you go. Sweet. Alright, we're up to 660 damage, and we've assisted 500. So not a bad start at all. We're going to aim it on the Brask again. I don't know what that guy was doing. Just drove right up a wall. So, yeah, pretty good start to this game. We've already picked up 800 damage, and we're doing pretty good. Now, at this point, I have realized that there's not much of a reason to hold this spot anymore, and, yeah, even better yet, because we're getting flanked from behind. So I am going to maneuver my tank away, and this Type 63, for some reason, just forgets that I'm here. He shoots at one of my teammates, and because of that, we're just going to keep on backing up, aim it on his hull. Super easy shot. Obviously, because this tank has decent standard pen, and that tank has terrible hull, we can just cut right through it with hull standard ammo. It's a great example to show just how weak the hull armor is on the Type 63. But, man, when you get this thing hull down, you are literally unstoppable. So we got a G-Sor right in front of us, and we are going to drive right over the ridge, and nobody's going to shoot me, so I'm just going to keep on going. I was a little worried that we might get punished, but, I mean, we do from a LIS, but nothing that bad. Easy shot on his entire hull. And it misses. Unfortunate. There's not much you can do about bad luck. We have decent dispersion, as I showed on the vehicle, but doesn't matter if your shells don't go where you want them to. So we've gotten trolled 2 times this game, but not the end of the world. Our team is doing a fairly good job, and we are going to chill right here. Yeah, there you go. ISU right in front of us. Bonk, thank you. And we got some spotting damage for detecting him. So we've done 2,600 combined at this point. We're going to aim it on the ISU. And another easy shot into his vehicle. We do get shot in the side by the 122 TM. but I'm not too worried. The only thing that was rather annoying is it appears that 122TM left the ridge that we were at a while ago. Well, maybe not. I do get spotted when I poke here again. But this 122TM definitely bailed, and I was worried that he was still there, but it turns out he just wasn't, so I was just kind of chilling here. I load heat because the 122 does have some pretty strong turret armor. Just want to try and guarantee it, no funky auto ricochets. Yeah, we do get spotted. I don't know if it was the 122 or something else that detects us. Either way, we are doing all right. We don't have much to worry about. Hello? Anybody there? That's where 122 TM was, but yeah, we're not spotted by anything. So at this point, we're just going to move on up a bit. We got the LIS off to the side, and the AMX is spotted. All right, well, I'm worried about crossing this because obviously I could get detected, and the ISU is still alive, but you know what? There's nothing in front of us that I see. The AMX and enemy medium are looking off to the side, and there's the ISU as well. So at this point, I'm just going to move on up. I probably could have loaded an HE at this point to get into the rear of the AMX, but it's fine. We're just going to hit him for 319, bringing him down to 50 health for the rest of our team to finish off. We still are pretty healthy at this point, and we've dealt 2,300 damage. So, yeah, it's going pretty good, and the medium who shot at me died for it. I was really hoping we could get a shell into the back of that AMX, possibly an HE, but as we can see, our team absolutely stomped through. So at this point, the game is over. We are not going to get any more damage out, but a pretty solid game. As we can see, that 12 degrees of gun depression, paired with the great DPM and solid hull-down capabilities, allowed us to deal 3,300 combined this game, which is pretty good. I'm not going to complain at all. So, yeah, great battle for the Type 63. Taking a look at the post-game results, we were able to get ourselves a first class, which is pretty solid, and 2,328 damage, which puts us top on the team in terms of XP, and third on the team in terms of damage. Overall, a pretty solid game, especially for an only Tier 8 battle, and honestly, a lot of our team did pretty good. But obviously, if we had to, we could have easily held that ridge a lot longer and done a heck ton more damage if we had to. So far today, I have played 4 battles in the vehicle, and averaged about 2,300 damage, which is pretty good judging that these are my first 4 games. So yeah, so far I've been thoroughly enjoying the vehicle, and it seems really, really good. Let's get into one more game and see how it can do. Malinovka. This is a pretty solid map for a vehicle like the Type 63, due to the fact that it's a hull-down tank, and this is basically an all-hull-down map. If you're able to get on top of the hill faster than the enemy and push them off with a proper team, you can very easily come out with a victory. And that is hopefully what you're going to see here. Honestly, after messing around with this tank for a couple games, I can tell you that it is amazing. The hull-down capabilities allows you to basically just sit on any ridgeline and have no chance of being penetrated. I've played about 5 games in the vehicle so far, and any map that I get hull down, nothing pens me. It's actually a little busted. Even tier 10s, they don't know what to do when they're aiming at a vehicle with 12 degrees of gun depression and turret armor that's upwards of 320 to 40 millimeters thick, depending on how hull down you are. So here we are. We can see a Scorpion G is making a random YOLO right into the open. There's really not much anybody could have done about that apart from farm him. I don't even know why that player did that. Guess he had to go to the bathroom. But we got a boss shot zone, 12T spotted in front of us. We're going to use that good accuracy, lead our shot, and boom! 347 into his vehicle. And our BZ-176 on the move shoots him and finishes him off for 650. Just, once again, the most fair and balanced Chinese tank added into the game. I'm glad I picked that thing up last year. So we are going to make our way up top the ridge. We, weirdly enough, don't see anybody on the enemy team. And I was honestly a bit confused because they were way, way slower to the hill than our team. It's not like they have slow tanks. The IS-3, Bisante, even 703 version 2 are fairly mobile tanks, but yeah, it just took them a very long time. So we have premium shells loaded. We're going to aim it on the 703. Unfortunately, it does not penetrate, and we do get hit by the Panzer 58 Moots. So we're going to back up. Udez bounces us on the side. All right, well, We have done 300 damage, and we've only bled about 200 HP. I'm going to push off a little bit more towards my other Type 63 so that we can kind of chill hull down. Now, that accuracy is going to be super, super nice when trying to shoot hatches or weak spots, which you're going to notice. So we are going to wait for our reload just a teeny bit longer. Here we go, and let's see. Not much we can shoot at yet, but we got the roof of the Yo, and bonk! Easy shot right in the hatch for 353. Shows you just how nasty the accuracy is on this vehicle. Sometimes I just wait a few seconds so that I can get that better dispersion. So we got the Yo again. I'm going to aim in on his hatch. We are able to pen it. A little bit of a snap at the end there, but not too bad. We're over 1,000 damage at this point, which is pretty solid. Now we're just going to aim in on the Yo's hull, and bonk. Thank you very much for that 294. Obviously, the hull is going to be a very, very easy penetration. Okay, well, now we got the Bisante. Now, the upper plate of the Bisante is covered in spaced armor, so I'm specifically trying to aim at the lower plate. We're going to aim in once again. I'm going to aim a little bit too high, though, here. I aim center mass, but as you can see, it did go a little high, and because of that, went into the upper plate and bounced. So, unfortunate, but not the end of the world. We got the 703 version 2, and I really want to shoot the 703, but this Yo just perfectly puts his gun in the way. I'm a person that likes to farm damage, I'm not going to lie. I mean, the Yo wasn't a threat anyway, but oh well. I finished off the 703. Bisante gets cleared. Now we're going to aim it on the roof of the 703 version 2. Get a very easy pen in for 350 damage. Alright, we are now over the 2,000 damage mark. Not too bad. Let's aim it on the 703 again. And there you go. Another easy pen right into the roof of his vehicle. Already we have just absolutely destroyed this poor guy. And we're going to aim it on the roof again. Are we going to be able to hit it? Well, no. I was waiting for my increased accuracy there. I could have just shot, but I don't know. For some reason, my brain was just like, ooga booga, don't shoot. So at this point, I'm trying to go to the UDES. My teammates don't see that I can shoot the UDES, but I'm trying to get past them here. And there you go, we got the rear of the UDES 03. So we're going to aim in right on his bootay. We're going to give it a teeny bit of time to aim in, and bonk! Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So we are able to get 2,800 damage delta at this point. My teammate gets absolutely badonkered, but that shouldn't matter all too much. Obviously, with there only being mediums left, I'm going to load standard ammunition to not waste any of our gold ammo. I could have loaded HE on this SU-130, but my intuition isn't fully upgraded. It's still about a 5-second reload, and I just felt like it wasn't worth it, so it might have been worth it in the end. In fact, it probably would have been, but oh well. SU-130 gets finished off, and there's only 2 players left, the Moots and a 68P all the way off, but that player just got cleared, and we're not going to be able to shoot the Moots. But you know what? Not a bad game at all. 3,100 damage and 740 assisted, so just about 3,800 combined. We helped our team. We got some easy snapperoonies out. This is a really solid tank. So now that we've played a couple games in the tank and we have an idea of how it plays and what its overall basic playstyle is, what are my final thoughts? To be honest, this tank is incredible. It features a turret that no tier 8 hull down is going to pen, or the majority of tier 9s are going to pen, which means really it's just high pen heat from tier 10 tank destroyers and really high pen heat like 340 from heavies that is going to have a chance of cutting through this vehicle. But yeah, armor-wise, the Type 63 is incredible. Like, sure, the hull is very weak, and a lot of YouTubers are probably going to bring that up, but I don't really mind the hull as long as you just drive it hull down. It's incredible because of that. It reminds me of a Kron put down in tier 8, which is just super devastating. But it gets even better when you take a look at the gun and the gun depression. 12 degrees means that you're going to work any ridgeline with no troubles whatsoever. And when you pair that with the fact that the vehicle has incredible accuracy at 0.25, and even solid DPM, great penetration, I just don't see a downside with this vehicle, to be completely honest. I mean, I've got this thing pretty basic on equipment. I don't have a fully trained crew, and yet we absolutely steamrolled our opponents with no troubles whatsoever. This was way easier to learn than the XM66F, so yeah, I think that this is the star of the Christmas boxes. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this vehicle. It definitely has weak spots, don't get me wrong. The hull's really bad, the side armor's terrible, and it doesn't have enough alpha to really scare people, but I still think that this tank is absolutely incredible. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.